You are about to witness history in the making.
Welcome, guys, to Pop Culture Gamers. I'm back. Seems like forever since I've done a podcast, and at the same time, I've now done 2 in a weekend, but we'll get onto that later. Haydn, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you, Steve.
I haven't listened to your little endeavours on your Todd, but I'm sure they went well.
I don't know. It's disgusting. You can't get the staff these days.
It is, isn't it? So, I'm a bit behind on a lot of things in this world because even though I've had the internet, I've had no TV for a week. So anyway, what's been going on in the world?
Well, I've had an up and down week because I've had problems with the bereavement support section at the bank I'm dealing with, who told me incorrect information. I've jumped through all of their hoops to sort things out legally. They took for absolute ever to sort things out as well. I was told 5 days. It's actually was closer to 11 working days. So just really awful, to be honest. And they've made a whole a catalogue of errors right the way along. So I was not best pleased with them. Which when, your bereavement support as well, you would think that they would make that extra bit of effort to make sure that things were sorted.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely, yeah.
But anyway, the complaints department soon sorted it out. So yesterday, I had a very rare night out with her indoors.
Oh yes, I saw the tweet. Yeah,
we went to see John Challis in his one-man show, Only Fools and Boycie.
Oh, is that what they called it? Was it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what else would it be with him, really?
Well,
Marlene.
There's the little things I can think of, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was one of those ones where they talk about, the life history and, give a amusing anecdote sort of thing. I think it's a typical type of thing, bit of interest for fans and, a nice gentle evening for them as performers. So he went through, when he became an actor, going to see Captain Hook, or Peter Pan and, fall in love with the character of Captain Hook, who eventually, he has played. And just his, early work on the stage, talked about various different parts that he's been on, because he's been on Corrie as different characters. He's been on Doctor Who and all that. And then, eventually, obviously, working on Only Fools and Horses, and how his character was, when it was on the first episode, as, obviously Boycie, a used car salesman, was like a one-off, to becoming one of the main characters in the show.
Being a regular, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a really good night. He seems like an absolutely, lovely, cracking bloke. Got my picture taken with him. I put that on the Facebook page and on Twitter. But also got an autograph of him for my son. Not that my son really knows who he is, but it's the type of thing that he gets delighted about, that if he gets autographs and that sort of thing. But and to be honest, when you think, this was actually... it wasn't at Middlesbrough or somewhere like that where it's a big centre. It was like Northallerton. So, he's gone from performing on the stage at, the heights of Broadway in San Francisco to Northallerton.
Well, there's two. I mean, there's a few people doing these sort of, chat. It's sort of like, I sit on a chair and just talk sort of shows, aren't they?
Yeah.
Was this a dinner one or
no?
Not?
This was just you basically were an audience. He went through most of the, he went through his routine, and then you got to ask questions of him as well.
How did that work? Did you all have to submit them earlier to see what?
No, it was just stick your hand up.
So this was a small venue?
I would say there would probably be about 200, 250 people there.
Yeah. So did they have a couple of people running around with mics trying to get to people?
No, just shouted it out because it's there's quite good acoustics in the Forum Hall at Northallerton.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, it was really nice evening. It was.
And the missus was surprised, apparently, Ian.
Yeah, because she was like, "Oh well, I'll go because you want to go."
Oh, really? Sort of. Oh, really? Is this what I need to be doing?
Really? Right. Do I? Well, okay.
Excuse me.
If you insist. And she had a great time. So, but as it always is the case, I come up with these ideas. She says, "Oh no, I don't want to go," and then she loves it. Like Brian Blessed when we went to see that. I see him. She was like, well. Yeah, I know who he is, but...
Because I think another one I've seen that's coming around at the moment is Lenny Henry, isn't it?
Not in my neck of the woods, but Jack D is evidently at Northallerton on Wednesday.
He's okay, but I think I was watching the Friday night show of Graham Norton.
Yeah.
And Lenny Henry was on there with... Renée Zellweger was the other cat, where the other act was on there as well. I can't remember who the other person was now. Louis Theroux. That was it.
Right.
So you had really different types of spectrum for people being on there. But he was really funny, and he was on about his new book and this sort of a chat show thing he's doing, similar vein.
Mm-hmm.
Right through the country as well. So I don't know if it'd be worth it. I mean, I was just sitting there to just do some anecdotes, and I was laughing my head off.
Yeah.
I mean, I think us, our age, we sort of like sort of those sort of characters and sort of actors we've had over the years. Where today a lot of people might not know who Lenny Henry is, to be honest.
Well, he has sort of like disappeared out of public eye a lot more.
Well, people don't know this, but he actually started off comic relief, and people don't know that.
Well, I mean, if anything, people are going to know him as a travel lodge guy, aren't they?
Well, that's you're right there. That's how, but they think, well, why is he did this advert? They got no history to no background to his history.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, being a comedian on stage, being married to Dawn French for some point as well in his career, and I was glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, I've always liked to do one of those A-list ones that are around, because you got there was one there for Mel Gibson, one for for Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there was another one for who was it now? Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
So they would be interesting to go to one of those.
Absolutely,
but they're a bit pricey.
Yes, they are. They're very pricey.
I mean, I went to. So when we just before we moved, I went to see Gary Newman at the O2. It's an event. It's a venue I didn't know existed, to be honest. But we got this O2 Academy in Boscombe. Yeah, it's in the High Street, and you don't even know it's there. And it's a real ancient venue as well. It's very similar to the Roundhouse idea. It's just a round hall. With very ancient looking, with a couple of tiers going around it with a stage at the end. Yeah. And I went there with my wife's sister. Blinding evening, really good night out. And we got another one coming up. So we've got the BIC in Bournemouth this time, where we're going to be seeing OMD. So looking forward to that. That's I think the 19th of November. So it's just over a week away.
I think being on the southern coast, you tend to get a lot of stuff down there, because up here, I think that people think that they're, if they're southern stars, I think that they think that they come into somewhere where might have got electricity in part of the world up here.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think Ricky Gervais was there at one point as well. So I think the Bournemouth venue does get on a lot of the main places for people to go to.
Yeah, the nearest place really around or anywhere near me is like Leeds.
Yeah.
Which is
so you're in
50 minutes away.
Yeah, and you're in the bit of the sticks really then, aren't you, to be honest, I think.
No, I'm only 30 miles away from York.
Okay.
30 miles away from Harrogate, 20 miles away from Middlesbrough. I'm not that far away from anywhere.
I know Middlesbrough very well because I've got friends that live up there, but who I've not seen for a number of years, but I do chat to them on Facebook every now and then. But yeah, so all good.
So what about you then? What about you?
Well, God, it's been an absolute nightmare. I've had a week off, believe it or not, but I haven't stopped. So what was it a week ago? Last weekend. Well, actually, it started on the Friday. I had the Friday off, and what I did on the Friday was I picked up the keys to the new place.
Yeah.
And shipped my room in that day because I didn't want to take stuff out of this room into the lorry I was driving. So,
in other words, you got your priorities right.
Too right. And so did my daughter's boyfriend, because he had his PC and stuff as well. So moved all that over on the Friday, and you saw my vinyl collection in those boxes. They weighed a ton, absolutely weighed a ton. But moved all that over on the Friday, and then Saturday morning we were ready to go. Once I picked up the Luton van from U-Drive, to do about 4 trips backwards and forwards in that day on Saturday, and waking up to the sound of hailing winds, heavy rain, really wasn't a great thing to enjoy when you're moving home.
No.
And even after the first trip, I'd wedged the gates open so I could just pull up by the gates to do the second run, and the wind took one of the gates off, went into the air. So it was lying on the floor when I returned. But I know certain people that move all the time, but this one just did take. It took all. We were completed by Saturday. Had some tidying up to do Saturday, Sunday by picking up some odd boxes from cleaning, because you've got to leave the place in a pretty good state from what you left it before.
Yeah.
And so that was done come Sunday, and then basically we were unboxing stuff all week last week. The internet was great. The internet came on Monday morning with Virgin, and that was handy because we didn't get Sky till Friday. So we didn't really have any sort of TV, because I don't know what it is with this and Sky, but I'm sure there must be a way around it. But if you plug your Sky box into your TV without a satellite, you can't watch your recordings. So my box was like 80% filled up with movies. But
it's because they can't verify that you're still a legitimate customer.
No, what I tried to do was one thing I did try was to use, because I was able to watch Sky on my phone once the internet was installed, but I tried to connect with the phone to see if I could get a verification, but it wouldn't have it.
No.
But what was really good, though, what was handy, was that when I got the guy in on Friday to do the install for the new dish, I was asking about these Sky Mini boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, how much are they? I said, no, they're expensive. And they said, well, no, because of the package you're on, you can have one for 20 quid. Sign me up. So I've got a Sky box in this room now.
Nice.
There's a downside to the box. I don't know if you have one at all or not, or the only people that have. But the main Sky box, you can obviously, you've got your 4K UHD movies and stuff, but you can't view them with a Sky Mini box.
Right.
You can only watch HD.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, there must be a way.
But presumably you can watch HD versions of the 4K ones.
Yeah. So, for example, I mean, I had, let's say, I had the Star Trek movies there sitting there on my box. But there was a couple of those that were in 4K, but I'd have to download the HD version instead. I know it's something that they must be able to get around at some point, but it doesn't matter too much, because I picked up the trilogy, the Kelvin Timeline trilogy.
Right.
And was able to delete them off to get a bit of space off my box. So I was able to delete the 3 movies off of there, which does give me a bit more breathing space, to be honest. But yeah, that's I mean, I could not resist for 20 quid, to be honest.
No.
You know, it was I think it's a bargain, and
Yeah.
it runs on Wi-Fi and literally I'm in line of sight with the Virgin box on the same level, so that's great. And got that set up in here, and it works a treat. Really does. There's no lag at all with it. So that works well, yeah. And then also what I've done is I ordered a sort of a hi-fi stand, should we call it?
Yeah.
But this one, you know the one with the black glass, and you've got the silver top on it, and it's all like levels of black glass, you know, sort of like a triangle sort of shape, to be honest, but not a true triangle, but you know what I mean, with 3 legs. And this one I got has a back end of it, and it goes higher, so you can fit your TV onto that as well.
Right.
And I've got an LED. I know I had a bit of a butt joke because of the old Twitter and editing, but my Samsung LED TV is over 12, 15 years old. And it weighed a ton. And I've had issues where for some reason the image would drop on it as well, and when you tried to connect the PC to it, it wouldn't accept it and everything else like that.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, it's had its day. So I got a rebate from my tax. So obviously one of the things you have to do when you move is you've got to start going through that scenario with all the accounts you've got with your bank, council tax, all that sort of stuff. And because I was changing from Dorset Council to New Forest Council in Hampshire, I have to start literally again. But obviously, as you know, your council tax works from, I think, is it March to March, I think, something like that, or April to April. And what I normally do is I work out on a 10 monthly, so I get 2 months of not paying council tax.
Yeah, I do the same. And
it gives you a bit of money in your pocket at that time of year when it's a bit lean at Christmas.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. So what I did was, when I spoke to them, they said, okay, right. So we'll just close this account down. They said, well, we've got to give you money back. I went, oh yeah, is that because I've been paying for 10 months? She said, yeah. I said, well, how much are you going to give me? She said, it's going to be near on over £400.
Nice.
So that's why I bought myself a new TV. I did have to buy a fridge as well, but that was another stuff. But so I was looking at the TVs, and I thought, well, I'm going to stick with LG, and saw the new Nano Cell range that's been coming out this year. And for the size of the room, I've gone for a 49-inch, and that's big enough, to be honest. The stand will allow up to 55-inch. But to be honest, I think it just sits in there lovely at 49 inches. It looks bigger actually for some reason because the bezel around the TV is really small.
And 4K is it? Did you say?
Oh yeah, it's a 4K. It has Alexa added to it as well, and it's what they call the poor man's OLED sort of type. And
if you if it's the latest model as well, you should be able to get the Apple TV app as well. So if you've got any iTunes movies, you'll be able to watch them on there.
I haven't downloaded the app yet. I've got the apps on there that I normally use. I've got my Plex set up with me PC as well on there, and I've been trying to set up Alexa, but I'm having a bit of a mare with it at the minute.
Yeah.
That is always a problem for some reason, Alexa. Because I can have my Alexa connected to my TV.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So where I've got me amp and everything else and my speakers, that means I can have the music playing through the speakers if I want to use Alexa, if the case seems to be worth it. But the TV's really good. The colour is incredible. I was playing a few movies. I tried out one of the Batman movies, you know, the opening IMAX scene?
Yeah.
when the Joker goes into the bank, and that looked incredible. And then I tried out Star Trek Into Darkness, and the beginning scene where they got the red planet with all the sort of the red trees and that was filmed in IMAX by I'm led to believe, because that scene is actually a full picture, the same way that it is for the Batman movie. And when that goes up and then goes, once you go onto the planet where Spock's trying to defuse, or he's in the volcano trying to defuse the volcano from exploding.
Yeah,
it goes back to 16:9, you know. But honestly, it's a draw-dropping image, really is. And also, what I did do, and another reason it is as good as it is, because I decided to pick up a 4K player as well.
Yeah.
Because I was using, in this room originally, I was using a standard Blu-ray player. But if I'm going to have a 4K TV, I'll need a 4K Blu-ray player. So I picked up an LG one, and it works a treat. Can be a bit noisy sometimes. I don't know why that is. Maybe that's just one of the part and parcel, maybe. But it seems to settle down after a while, and that's fine with me. And with the noise that's coming out of the surround sound system anyway, you don't know it's there anyway.
It's probably advanced buffering.
Could be, yeah, maybe. But honestly, I've been trying a few different Blu-rays. I picked up the Mission Impossible box set.
Yeah.
And I tried Mission Impossible 1, the original one, and also Fallout, and they look amazing. Really, I'm really pleased.
In 4K?
Yeah, it's the 4K box set. With all, was it, how many, 6 movies it is now, I think, in that one. But really, really chuffed with it, and it's just good quality. And it all sits well on that unit with my speakers by there. My deck sits in there nicely as well. Mm-hmm. And as I said to you earlier, I put my PlayStation in there as well. Set that up on the amp as well, and really chuffed with that. I mean, I could have put the Xbox in there, but I decided with the PlayStation, only because where the internet comes in the lounge anyway, I've got it hardwired to the Xbox, so I can get the full setup for streaming. So when I'm at the moment doing the what do you call it? You know, the demo that's going, not the demo, the beta for the streaming your console to your phone.
Yeah.
So I've got that on the go. Obviously, when you need to hit at least 5 gigahertz, not 2.4 with that, and it works with no lag at all. If you try in the cloud, they've got 5 games on that, including Gears 5, for example. Mm-hmm. But then when you click stream to your console, you have your console on your phone. I can sit there playing Destiny while the missus is watching EastEnders. It's made in heaven, really, I think, to be honest.
Yeah.
And obviously, I did use the PS. Was it the PSP I had for a while, wasn't it?
Yeah, you did.
So with that, as we did with the idea that they had, this works brilliantly. There's no lag at all, and with my phone's size of the screen, it's quite good. Interesting to see when this goes live for everyone else on Xbox, to see what they can make of it.
I have to admit, for me, I don't think it's a feature I'm going to use. Well,
it's just sometimes if I'm in the room with the missus. And maybe you might say, I'll pick up the Switch off the floor, and you might start playing that.
Or the laptop, or the iPad.
Exactly. Where I could just leave my phone to my left, I could just hit the Xbox and start streaming and playing Destiny at the same time. Fine by me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, really, really great idea.
We need to catch up a bit.
Well, we haven't spoken in an age. But yeah, so that's really good. So yeah, so it's been very busy. Back to work tomorrow. So I loaded up the car today, put that back together, and I've been making numerous trips to the tip. With all these different cardboard boxes and polystyrene, that is just unbelievable. So it's been a bit hectic this week, and knowing how well, there's something else actually. Yeah, so As I said earlier, so I did a podcast with James Hancock on Wrong Reel yesterday, which was a nice little taste to see how my network works, because what I've done is I've got a set of these power over Ethernet converters with your sockets on your ring main.
Yeah, they work really well.
So I got this set from Amazon. Now, I'm assuming this is just the way it is. I don't know if anyone else can tell me any differently. So my internet is roughly 220 meg. I'm getting, and when I connect in the power lines, I'm getting about 60 this end, give or take. It does fluctuate. So maybe that's right or wrong. I don't know. Should you be able to get what you get out of your box?
I get. Well, I don't know about the internet, but in terms of downloading speed, streaming over the power lines, I get more than that. I get about 200 or 300 megabits.
So what have you got? What's your income? What's going in at the moment for your internet? What have you got as a standard?
Well, my internet is like 72, supposed to be up to.
Okay.
Megabits, but obviously what I'm talking about is just downloading over the power line. If I was transferring a file from one PC to another,
yeah, I
would get much faster than 50.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to Bristol actually, because that's where I normally am. So I'm just going to this is not great radio of any kind, but I'm just going to do a test here to see what I'm going to get. And it's coming up. At the moment, I'm getting probably 40 megabits per second.
I wonder why it slowed down.
Well, I've got 220 on Wi-Fi in the lounge on 5 gigahertz.
Yeah, but
and my upload is 20 meg on the power line.
Yeah, to me that doesn't make sense, because it should, in theory, take right up until your full bandwidth for your internet.
Yeah.
Depending upon what model you've got. What did you go for?
On what the
power line adapters?
They are. Is it TNT? Not TNT.
TP-Link.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're normally all right.
Yeah. So. It's funny because if I go, this is really weird. Because if I go on my Wi-Fi and do a speed test in this room, and okay, let's have a look. Now I'm probably running on 5 gigahertz here, or am I? So actually, this time I'm getting 34 meg on Wi-Fi in here. In this room.
Is that megabytes a second?
Yeah.
Right, that's different to megabits.
Yeah, and then
I was wondering why it was so slow for you, because I was on about megabits.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So 200 meg in the broadband as it comes in the house.
Yeah.
But ironically, I think it depends whether or not and whether I'm running on 2.4 or 5 gigahertz as well.
Well, there is a difference between them, but you can go in and change the speeds in your router as well.
Yeah, I know. I've left it on. I mean, if I reboot this, it normally sits on 5 gigahertz, but sometimes it will go to 2.4. But
I'm having problems with my router where I keep having to reset it because it keeps losing the ability to track the password of the 5 gigahertz, and then connecting to the 2.4 becomes unstable as well. So I have to go in from a hardwired PC and reset the password, and then a little bit later it'll start doing it again. Real pain in the backside.
But to be honest, for what I'm doing here in this room, I tested the PlayStation on what I was getting with that, and I was getting 70 on Wi-Fi with that. And obviously, when I was doing the podcast yesterday, I was using from his end. I was using I was seeing his video, but it wasn't a problem. it's running well. So I'm not fussed. I'm not getting 200 meg in it 'cause I don't need it.
No.
I've got the Xbox hardwired in, and as well. So to be honest, I'm quite happy with how it's running at the minute. I would like to know why I'm getting what I get, especially on the power lines. Why wouldn't you get the same as what you get in your router yourself? Do you know what I mean?
It'll be because of either the quality of the copper or something's causing interference with the signal.
Yeah, possibly. And also, I'm not sure how it comes down the line, whether it uses the earth, or the neutral, or the live, which you're picking it up from when it converts it.
I'm not sure.
But anyway, I don't want to bore you with that because that's it. I'm rambling on too much now. But yeah, but hey, things are okay. Back up and running, which is the main thing. Gaming is a little bit poor at the minute because I haven't had much of a chance, but I've got loads to. I want to hear your story on a few bits and pieces that you've been playing. Because you've been being a postman, so
I've been an Amazon delivery driver.
You have, yeah. But yeah. So really, at the moment, I think it works well. Everything at the minute, and I'm really chuffed with the other TV and everything works in here. I have to tone down the amp a little bit with the sub, obviously, for people in the house. But I'll ask you this now because what I'm looking for, because I've been Googling it and just trying to find I want a decent hardwired headphones for watching movies. So I've got my set that I use for music, but I want something that I can use to give you that virtual surround sound on set of headphones. But I don't know what to go for.
Yeah, I have to admit I'm probably not the best person to advise you on that because because of where I am now, I don't need to use headphones. The only thing I use headphones for now is recording this podcast.
Yeah, I mean the way your room's set and everything is. Obviously, I'm in a 4-bed house.
Yeah,
I've got our bedroom above us, and I have tried setting it up to see what it sounds like with a big film going on. But no, it is a little. I can understand it can be disturbing for someone that's in bed. So you've got to be fair and square with that. So I just need to find a decent set that I can use, maybe for 9.1 or 7.1. I'm not too fussed.
Yeah.
Just to give you that immersion if you're going to stick headphones on. Because when I got the lights out here at night and I've just got the TV on, it's a great screen. And I do like watching films in the dark, if you know what I mean.
I do.
And gives you that sense of being immersed in the movie. But we'll see if anyone can give me any hints on that. We'll see. But I might put it on the Facebook group later.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we get on? Because I'm boring you too much now. So, should we go to gaming this week?
Yep.
No longer a dream, but a reality.
Right, we're back now. Okay, so news is a bit thin on the ground at the minute by the looks of it.
Yeah, a little bit, I think. I haven't really had the time to be looking for stuff this week.
Yeah. So, do you want to pull out the new releases for me?
Okay, so new releases this week is 13 on the PS4, Xbox One and Switch. Bee Simulator on the PS4, Xbox One and Switch. Garfield Kart Furious Racing, PS4, Xbox One, Switch and PC. Astroneer on the PS4 and Xbox One, so that presumably that's now come out of the preview. Beast Quest on the Switch. Let's Sing 20 on the Switch. Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield on the Switch. Risk of Rain 2, PS4, Xbox One, Switch. Sparklight, PS4 and Switch. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, PS4, Xbox One and Switch. Terminator Resistance, Star Wars Fallen Order is PS4, Xbox One and PC, not Switch rather. Terminator Resistance, PS4, Xbox One and PC. Tokyo Ghoul Recall to Exit, PS4 and PC. And Valfaris, PS4 and Switch.
So, a nice little bundle there to you to gnaw on if it's something that floats your boat.
Well, I've got Star Wars pre-ordered.
Yes, and we'll see how EA cope with that one when it comes out.
It's getting good reviews so far, evidently, and it's quite Dark Souls-ish.
Yeah, not my cup of tea then. So, what we got the Epic as well here as well.
Oh, yeah, we have.
So we got Nuclear Throne and Runner. Also,
they're available now.
And also, what's that? The Messenger? I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it either, but that's from the 14th to the 21st.
Cool. So, moving swiftly on, shall we see what we've been playing, or what you've been playing, shall we say?
Well, don't you want to do your Destiny update?
Destiny update.
You've been playing that, haven't you?
Well, I have been playing a little bit of Destiny. Iron Banner started this week on the Tuesday, so I've been doing a bit of that, helping me to sort of boost my level. I think I'm a bit behind, but I'm level 70 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm level 107 on the season at the moment.
So that's not too bad. I think I just want to get... I've got plenty of time. I think we've got about 33 days left, roughly, for this season. And so it'd be nice to obviously get to the end of that, and that I think will come in progression as you play the game anyway. Yeah,
I must admit, I was thinking about going for the Undying title, but you have to do that knife-throwing thing, or whatever it is in Crucible.
Would you like to explain that to me then? Because I'm a bit behind at the minute.
Yeah, evidently you've got to get like 60 kills with a throwing knife.
Now, is that...
That's for your hunter.
For your hunter, okay, yeah. Right.
Or something like that, and if that's the case, when you're out, I think is the way to describe it. I ain't doing that. No way.
So,
no way.
I must admit, before I got my internet disconnected with Sky and we moved, I did start Halloween with the season of the Lost. Is it called again? I can't remember now.
Yeah.
And just before, as I wanted to make sure I did it, but I did get the Braytech werewolf weapon. Got that completed. I've got 3 of them at the minute, but apparently the best roll is the curated roll you get from the first gun.
Yeah.
So I've got that anyway. So I did all that, and when I came back on, I've been going into the haunted forest. Having a blast. I do like that idea. It's really cool. So I've been playing a bit of that.
Have you managed to do all 9 levels of it?
No, I think with a couple of bozos that I was with, sometimes they just weren't up to it.
Yeah, I was with a good team at one point. We got up to level 8, but one of them decided that they weren't going to start resurrecting people when we had enough time to beat the second from last guy and get into the forest. And I thought, you idiot! We could have done it.
I don't know what it is with people in this game sometimes, but when there's 3 of you, and sometimes it might be you and your mate, and you get a third person, and it could be you or me, could be that third person, and you die, and you think, well, you're right beside me. They walk past and just bugger off to the next part of the next point in the game. I'm thinking, bunch of knobs, what are you playing at?
Well, I mean, a perfect example I had was I died halfway through the forest. And what's really annoying about the forest is if you die, you start right back at the beginning. You've got to run your way through. So that would have taken me a couple of minutes to get back to where I was.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, okay, I could see that somebody was running up behind me. Yeah. And I thought, right, I'll wait for the... while they go through this bit, and they literally ran through my ghost.
Yeah.
Literally ran straight through it and carried on. I thought, you idiot!
I've been with a few good groups where we've been close to doing it. I think we got to level 8, but we have been tight with that and getting there, but it's still enjoyable, and I've been bouncing around with a few bits and pieces. Obviously, Iron Banner, which finishes tomorrow, isn't it? Tuesday, actually.
Yeah.
So that's worth doing. So what I have heard is, and you can probably confirm this as well if you've been listening to the rumblings, that Bungie have changed the way they've upped what you get for your tiers.
Yeah, instead of getting 2 points extra, at 1 point extra, you get 2. So it just means that it takes your average up a lot quicker to be able to get to the higher levels.
I mean, I'm
up to 960.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 961 at the minute, and I'm not getting much further at the moment. It seems.
No, you won't, because the only if your gear is 950, unless you're getting pinnacle gear, then the only thing that you're going to do is have to boost up your artifact.
Yeah,
that's the only way that you're going to get the extra light levels. So at the moment, my light level's 964, and that's because I'm up 14 levels on the artifact, and it gets longer each time, so you get an extra 100,000 every
more
time.
XP, isn't there, on that level, isn't there? But
so the person who's at 99, 999 rather, they've had to do something like 114 billion, points to be able to get to that light level.
Yeah.
Which is enormous.
So what I did do is I had a bit of a play on the PlayStation with my character earlier to have a little bit of a test when I set it up, and I hadn't been to the moon for donkeys, so I went to the moon, picked up those raisins. Yeah. Then asked me to do something else. I just said, okay, do this, okay, because I've obviously done it in the interim period of what's going on. So I'm up to about the third part to go and do. But
that wouldn't be the raisin quest, would it? Because you've got to go to a different planet.
Yeah, it's the raisin quest, because when you're at the raisins, it said you need you to do this or whatever that was. And then it popped up.
That's before you get the raisins, and then when you get the raisins, you've then got to go to another planet.
No, to
one of the characters you have because I've completed the quest.
What I'm saying is, when I picked up the raisins, then it said, right, you need to do this. I went, okay. It went, done. Okay, you need to do this. Okay, done. Now you got to do this, and I'm on the next bit there. So I'm assuming I've done what I needed to do while being playing the game.
No, there is loads and loads of steps. It takes you to just about every planet.
Okay. And what do you get at the end of it?
I don't think it was worth it, to be quite honest.
Oh, really? Isn't it an exotic weapon or something?
No, it's not an exotic weapon. I'm trying to remember what it was, but I remember thinking, I can all that for that. Something?
Handbag for your warlock?
I haven't completed it, that's it. And the reason why is I'm stuck on the last one, and this is what has hacked me off about this. Big style. I saw
your rant, and I thought, what's this guy on about? He must be talking out of his arse.
No, I'm not. No. Right. The last step of this mission is to do the Dance of My People in front of Eris Morn.
Right.
And you have to do the correct dance, which isn't a standard dance. A
certain emote, yeah?
Yeah, so whichever race you are, you have to do that specific dance. I can't remember what they are, but the one I've got to do, I don't have.
Can you buy it from the shop?
No, you can't. So you've got to hope you get it. It's ridiculous. It's basically, it's a bust quest. It's stupid. They've really cocked it up of that. Either that or else it should drop the next time that you do anything in Destiny, but it doesn't. It is very, very poor. And that's why I tweeted Bungie, who didn't bother to reply. Thank you, Bungie. I think it's quite a legitimate thing to say, why can't I buy the dance to be able to complete the quest? Why can't I use Bright Dust or something?
What's the quest called?
Well, it's the Tiny Box of Raisins quest chain.
Okay. So, while you're yapping about Destiny, so what else have you been up to? Let me have a look on my phone, see if I can see it in my companion.
There's loads of videos about how to complete it and all of that, and I've been trying to find a way to get it, and everybody's saying, no, you've just got to hope that RNG gives you the dance.
Really?
Yeah. And that is so poor.
So the box of raisins are in there. Yeah, okay. So I'm just having a look to see if I can find anything that can tell me what that quest is, or where I am in my quests.
Oh, and you get a toothbrush at the end of it.
Really?
Really. And it gives you the triumph to brush your teeth. And without doing it, you can't get the medal for the Season of the Undying, or Festival of the Lost.
Oh, okay. So
I am hacked off with it. Really.
Collections. Okay. Seasonal. Season 8, there we go. So everything I'm doing there. Okay, yeah, I'll have to have a little look later and see what that means.
So I need to do the popping dance, and I can't do it. If you're human, you need to do the city dance, and if you're awoken, you need to do the graceful dance.
Interesting. Anyway, so other than Destiny, what else have you been playing? Or do you want to talk about something you've bought that you're playing with at the moment?
Well, I'm going to leave the Death Stranding to last, I think. So my next thing is about a little device that dropped this week. And it is the Xbox One Elite Series 2 controller.
Yes. I haven't got much to say about that, to be honest.
You had plenty to say about it before we started.
Well, what I mean is...
in a very grumpy voice.
Well, I'm just telling you, I've been burnt with the first controller, and I've had 2 Series 1 controllers where the rubber peels off the handles.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to go down the route of spending that type of money on that type of controller to see if that thing happens again.
Well, I have to admit that is my one concern, and I also have to admit I don't like the rubber feel. I prefer plastic feel.
Yeah.
Because to me it makes your hands sweat more when it's rubber. And I don't know why everybody keeps saying, oh no, it's much cooler. It's not. It's a lot warmer than having plastic below your skin. So the difference in terms of this to the standard Series 1 Elite is you have 3 profiles plus a standard profile on it, so you can, do your customised loadouts for how you want the buttons to be. You've got the same number of buttons as before, in terms of, your back trigger paddles, and your normal Xbox buttons. Another new addition is the adjustable tension on the thumbsticks, which you have a special tool for, which is quite nice. If you like a more stiffer movement, you can make it that.
I always have a stiff movement. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, that's what my wife tells me as well. Another nice addition is there are 3 trigger settings: hairpin, half, and full trigger. So you can do even less movement than before.
Yeah.
This one, and this is why it's good for anybody like yourself who's playing on a phone, streaming Xbox, is it has Bluetooth connectivity.
Yes, because I'll tell you what I'll say right now. When I was doing the streaming from the console to my phone,
yeah,
and I do have a Bluetooth controller, which is a standard. It's a blue Xbox controller, by the way. But when you're using that, if I'm using that with the phone, I don't have that feel of the rumble of any kind, of any tactile feel when you're playing a shooter. So what I can do in this case, I can just swap controllers over because I'm in the same room as the Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'm theoretically using that controller while looking at it on the phone. But if you were to be somewhere else out in the field, you wouldn't have that. But Bluetooth is a nice little... a nice little addition for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That on its own, though, doesn't doesn't warrant the price tag, though, for me.
Well, no, but there's been some other things I've mentioned already that has.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think this is every Tom, Dick and Harry is going to be buying this controller.
No, I mean, what I would say is if you're immediately saying the price tag of 160 is ridiculous price for buying a controller and the standard controller suits me fine, you are clearly not the market that this is aimed at.
No.
So other people want something different. If you're happy with a standard controller, good on you, keep playing it. But when you actually, the mindset of some gamers, particularly like, for example, PC gamers, wouldn't think twice about 160 quid for a keyboard or for a mouse. So it's actually in line with those as, piece of equipment. So what I would say is, if you're in any way critical of this, you're not the market that this is aimed at. So don't worry about it. But in terms of the thing itself, it's also got a built-in battery, which has a 40-hour life.
Right.
It comes with a magnetised stand, which is a charging stand. So when you put your controller down, you can immediately start to charge it.
Yeah.
You can also still play with it plugged in if you do run out of charge. Obviously with 40 hours, which is, 2.5 times the Xbox controller or 5 times the PlayStation controller length time for play. That's not too bad. The thing I don't like is the rubberized grips. I've already said that, but they go all the way around now. And to be honest, it does look nice, but
just as a thought, because the grips used to fall apart for me, they would fall apart on the seams and they would bubble up. Is there still the seams in the grips, or is it one whole rubber? No,
it's not. There is still seams.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, if anything, this is where it's going to really start to go wrong. The Nexus button, or the Xbox button, if you don't know what that is less spongy and more clicky. It charges by USB-C. Obviously, it's going to be compatible, as all other Xbox controllers are, with the next generation of Xboxes. And what I would say is, as soon as you pick this up, you can feel the quality of the product. It's heavy, but not the type of heavy that's going to make you exhausted, holding it up all of the time.
Yeah.
But it's a really good quality product. There's so many different things that you can do with it. It's putting it in direct competition with, a lot of the custom controllers that are out there that are already at this price tag or more for less features. And, it's like really sort of like kind of professional grade controller, really. So, yeah, in terms of it as a device, I absolutely love it. I love the ability to adjust the tension on the stick, so it's a little bit stiffer to move and that sort of thing. Just it gives you a little bit more control over it, over your thumbsticks. And obviously the super fine, hairline trigger for games like Destiny is definitely worth it as well. The paddles underneath, I'm still not convinced about those that much, although they are okay in things like Forza. I think that's where they fit in the best.
Right.
If you want to do manual gear changes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course.
So, is it worth it? Well, it's got a lot of the same features as version 1, and obviously has the extra bits of the built-in battery, which is, a lot longer length than the rechargeable battery you can buy separately, which costs 20 quid. So, that's one positive. You've got the thumbsticks, the extra triggers, and that as well. This controller the way I would describe it is, if you've ever used an Elite to a standard controller, you know what the step is.
Yeah.
This is like that step above the Elite.
Okay.
So it is a really good quality controller. I'm not convinced about the rubber at all.
Well, that's my thing. I mean, I'm going to obviously keep an eye on this and see what I hear about it in the next 6-7 months.
Yeah.
To see if people are going to have the same problem I had with the other one.
Yeah.
Because I can't afford to spend that sort of money if I've got the same problem.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, I can spend... To be honest, I do need a decent set of headphones. Not necessarily gaming ones, but something, you know, as I said, for this room, for watching movies.
Yeah.
I'd rather spend 160 quid on that right now, to be honest.
Mm.
Whether or not a gaming headset will give me the same thing anyway, I don't really know at the moment.
What about those steel Xbox headsets?
No, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing I want. I mean, I don't know if you can... Depending on how it works, there are quite a few different ones that are out there. Some come with a little mini switch.
Yeah.
Then have a pass-through between the Blu-ray player in that and out to the amp. But I'm not sure, because there is one with a 4K pass-through, but apparently it's not true 4K. So you're going to lose that image out of your Blu-ray player to start with. Yeah,
well, you don't want to be compromising the image quality for something you're not going to be listening to that much.
It basically it's for the sound point of view. So if I can find something that's available that can give me a nice recreation of a 4, 5, 6, 9 or whatever 0.1 virtual surround sound with a good nice bit of bass on it, I'll be happy to pick something up. You know, and I'd pay that on it. You know, I've got some money spare for it. But we'll see. Anyway, talk to me about Hideo Kojima's little special baby.
Yes, so finally Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding has been released.
Yeah. Before you start, can I ask which one you bought?
Just a standard disc version.
So you didn't buy the Play... Because I did look today, so the PlayStation in the store had like a deluxe version, I think there wasn't there?
Yeah, no, I did not bother with that because of the cost.
£64.
Yeah, I got mine for significantly less.
CD keys?
Yes. No, Shop 2.
Oh, okay. Let me have a little look while you're chatting away. I can...
So, the game is set in the United States of America after, as a result of the aftermath of a cataclysmic event. So your character is Sam Bridges, played by Norman Reedus, who is a courier tasked with delivering supplies to fractured and isolated colonies across America. The cataclysm was caused by BTs, not British Telecom, by the way.
I was about to say that. Is it BT or is it not? Do you have to pronounce it slightly different?
No, it's BT. So these are invisible creatures from a breach said to be a little bit like the afterlife.
Right.
And when you first start playing the game, a lot of the first hour is like cinematics. Well, it is Hideo Kojima, isn't it? So, of course, it's going to be like cinematics.
Yeah.
And there is this one bit where you get introduced to these BTs by this cinematic sequence, and basically all that you can see is these sort of like handprints going into the mud and the water on the floor, and then moving on, and you know, people having cold breath, and that blinky thing that he's got on his shoulder, that will show you where some of these things are.
Is that it looks like an aerial, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it looks like a flower opening up, but with a light on it. Do you know what I mean? And it makes that funny sound. So, anyway, the BTs caused explosions known as void outs when they consume the dead by necrosis and produce rain known as timefall, which rapidly ages anything it touches. So if you're out in the world and it starts to rain, that is timefall. And basically what happens is the cargo that you're carrying on your back starts to age and deteriorate to the point of it can be destroyed.
Oh, what, your bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which means that you've got to try and traverse the terrain, avoiding the timefall. The other thing you've got to avoid is the BTs as well.
Okay, right.
Because if you go through an area where the BTs are, you've got to sneak through and not get caught and hold your breath and try and escape the area. And it is quite a large area that they cover. And if you get caught, then this black tar sort of appears below you, and these figures try and claw you down into it. And then if they manage to claw you down and you don't escape in time, then it takes you to this creature, and that's quite hard to get away from because it chases you.
Okay, you're talking in riddles at the minute, but I'm taking your word for it.
Well, no, this is about as much detail as I have on it, to be honest. And obviously, if you die, it causes a massive crater because your body explodes when the BTs try and absorb you. And then, because of the type of character that you are, you're this special character. I'll come on to it in a minute, but you get resurrected. So, people are now living underground in what's known as knots. And you carry a BB with you. A BB being a baby.
Right.
Yeah. So, the BB is a premature baby in a state between life and death, which gives them the ability to sense the location of BTs. Yeah. Which then tells this aerial thing where they are, and gives you a marker because it points at them and starts flashing, quicker the closer that you get to them. Yeah. You get a condition known as Doom, which allows you to naturally sense or sometimes control BTs as well. So I mentioned before about Bridges, Norman Reedus' character, gets resurrected. That's because he's a repatriate, which means that he can travel back from the breach after he dies. So this game it's like Amazon delivery driver in hell, because the whole point of the game is that you have to deliver all of these packages all over the world. Yeah? And you have to extend the reach of where it is. So it's a bit like, if you've ever seen Kevin Costner's The Postman, it's kind of like that in a video game, but with creepy, ghosty sort of things. So, failing, or being attacked or having time fall on your equipment will damage... Sorry, falling rather, not failing. Falling, being attacked or having time fall on your equipment will damage things. And at the end of each delivery, you get a score from, S, A, B, C, that sort of stuff. A bit like you do at the end of Resident Evil, all of those sort of games. There is no direct multiplayer, but they do a very ingenious kind of way of doing multiplayer in it with no multiplayer. So you can carry with you, as well as the things you're going to deliver, you can carry equipment. Yeah. Now, some of this equipment is like stuff that will synthesize things like bridges and that sort of stuff.
Because you carry a ladder, don't you, as well, and stuff like that?
You can carry a ladder, you can carry a rope as well, so that, for climbing down things or up things. Yeah. All that sort of stuff. And basically, you can leave these things wherever they are in the world. And what happens is someone else will go out into that world and will come across your ladder and can also use it to traverse the path that you've gone on. And if they've traversed that path and they think, thanks very much, they can give it a like, and then you get score back from that like in your game.
Okay.
Which is a good way of making multiplayer, in a way, on a single player game, effectively. So it's like helping each other out. The other thing that you can do as well is you can build a post box.
Really?
Really? So you can synthesize a post box and put in there anything. If you've picked up cargo that's been around the world somewhere, but maybe you're struggling to carry it. Maybe you want to get somewhere a bit quicker or whatever. You can put it in the post box for another player who comes across your post box to go in and deliver that package for you in their game. It's actually, it sounds a bit naff, but it actually works really quite well.
Do you know what? I'm just trying to get my head around this. This does definitely sound like
Hideo Kojima.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, he does like... Apparently...
I haven't got to the best bits yet.
Oh, go on, carry on.
So, where have I got to? So, yes, I mentioned about the post boxes.
Yeah.
So, the other thing as well is there's something... Because you're a repatriate, as part of the story, something happens, and Norman Reedus' character realises, actually... these BTs are reacting badly to my blood. So there's this like scientist bloke who talks to you in all of these different places, facilities that you go to. So he has a conversation with him and says, well, do some research into my blood because there seems to be something there. So the next time that you go and visit him, says, we've done this research. We've found out, yes, there is something. So we're going to do you a grenade based on something from your blood. Now, in order to get more grenades, you have to do bodily functions. Shower, number ones,
and number twos.
And number twos.
Oh, dear me, this just sounds like real life, isn't it?
Yeah, but guess what?
You got
two of the grenades are called number one and number two. So, I guess where number twos come from. I guess where number ones come from. And number zeros come from your showering.
Jesus. So, what about the inventory you got? How does that work? Or is there an inventory system of some kind?
Well, you've got your loadout, and you can specify where you want things to be.
Right.
On your back. You've got sort of like pouches. Well, they're more than pouches. They're like panettières on your hips, and then you've got ones on your shoulders as well. And then you've got your backpack, which will carry all of these, like massive cases as well. And everything's got a weight, and you've got a weight limit.
Right.
So that's how and you can balance things wherever you like on your back or on your arms or on your legs, and you can also carry things in your hands as well if you want to. But to do that, you've got to hold down the L2 and R2 buttons, which is a bit of a pain, and I've not bothered with that. So there's lots of different, ways that you can do that, or you can just do auto loadout and it'll balance it for you, which is I tend to be using that most of the time.
Right.
But obviously, if you're taking any equipment like a ladder, like a synthesizer, or whatever with you, you've got to feed that into the balance of everything else that you're taking because it has a weight. So, you can take a synthesizer that'll build a bridge, but you have to carry that to get to where it is. Later on in the game, you get the ability to harvest different materials that are in the world. Mm-hmm. So where Timefall is, there's these like crystallized claws that look like clawed hands coming out of the ground, and you can take that, and that's used as materials to build things. If you've got a broken down container, you can still hand that in, and then it'll be broken down to base materials. All those sort of mechanics are in there, so there's a bit of resource collecting and all that. I haven't run out of resources at all so far in the game. So that's how the game operates. It's very, very weird. It's very sort of like Japanese culture hard for us to understand in the West, I think. But obviously, you know, it's, well, Hideo Kojima, isn't it? The other thing as well is...
This sounds very complicated. Maybe that's the wrong word to use, but...
Well, evidently Hideo Kojima said that even he doesn't understand the game. Okay. I forgot to mention as well, there's also really strong product placement from Monster.
I know. I watched a bit of the IGN review, and there was a scene there where there was like 3 or 4 cans on the side of the bench.
Yeah. And that gives you extra stamina. Because the other thing as well, in terms of this when you're playing the game, is obviously you can lose stamina, you know, if you're doing heavy feats and that sort of thing, especially if you're carrying a lot of stuff and you start running, your stamina will start going. Or if you come to a river and you try and cross a particularly, heavy stream bit, that will eventually knock you off your feet when your stamina goes, and you'll start drifting down the river. And then you've got to try and stop yourself and get to the other side before it takes you somewhere you possibly don't want to go. So there is all of those things in there as well, and that is actually what makes it more challenging, because the terrain is very mountainous and rocky, and carrying, 100 kilograms on your back kind of thing, trying to keep your balance your stamina, all of those sort of mechanics that are going on in this, plus avoiding BTs and also sort of like mercenaries that are out there as well, which is basically humans that are also out to get you. All of this is going on all of the time, and timefall as well. So you might be walking through an area, suddenly it starts raining, you've got to get out of that area quick before it destroys what you're carrying. So when people say it's a post simulator, yeah, okay, it is, but there are a lot of challenges to that.
What keeps you going? Is it the story that you're interested in? Because you've got people like Lindsay Wagner in this, haven't you? And you've got some big names and in this story. So is it the story that will keep you going playing this game? Do you think you'll get to the end of the game? Or will you
I hope I will. The story is really interesting. And obviously some of the humour and whatever as well. I'm quite looking forward to when I run into Conan in the story.
Yeah, I watched his video when he went to see Hideo Kojima, and that was he was hilarious, I must admit. Really funny.
Yeah. So I wasn't convinced about this, and I don't know what convinced me to get it, but I'm glad I have, because it is quite a unique experience.
Yeah.
The world is utterly stunning.
It's only grass and rocks, isn't it? The world, isn't it? Am I led to believe? What I've seen of it, anyway.
What you mean, like the real world? That's only grass and rocks.
No, but what I mean is,
buildings.
it's just constant. It's constant. That constant terrain.
No, there's trees. There's all sorts in there as well.
Yeah.
There's rivers. There's waterfalls. There's cities. There is all sorts in the world.
Yeah.
And it is such a beautiful world, but I think it's using the same engine as, I forgot what it's called now, but the other PlayStation game where you had the robotic dinosaurs.
Oh,
I can see her face as well, and it's doing my head in.
I know what you're on about, yeah.
Yeah, that game. Brain's gone. It's Sunday night. I'm
absolutely knackered. I'm not looking forward to getting to work tomorrow, and get a little bit of a break tonight, just a bit of a chill out session before I get to bed. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes,
that was it. That's what I meant. Yeah. So yeah, it's, if you want a unique experience, it certainly will give you that. It does stand apart in a lot of ways from a lot of other games. It's a slow-paced game. It's not one that, that you're going to be running around like in Destiny or whatever. If you're expecting that sort of thing, this isn't the game that you're going to want to play. But if you're wanting to have something that's more thoughtful, more slower paced, this is definitely a game that you should look at, because it is a really slow paced game. No two ways
slow
about it.
Slow paced, you'd be falling asleep.
Not quite that slow paced.
Yeah, okay.
Mind you fall asleep in Destiny, so that that's a fast-paced game.
Just these days, I've been so tired in what I've been getting up to. I must admit, I've just been nodding off like you wouldn't believe. But
no, I would believe it.
Anyway,
but yeah, it's a great experience as a game.
Yeah. Does it have replayability, or is that too much to ask?
I don't know yet. I'm not that far into the game. I'm not completed the game.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it'll be one of those games that I'll be all right with until probably about 36 hours, and then the last 4 hours will be a slog.
Yeah. Oh, well, that'd be interesting to hear what people think of it.
Yeah.
I think quite a few people have bought it in the Facebook group. We'll be all talking about it. So,
yeah.
We'll see. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Right. We'll move swiftly to movies, TV and streaming.
In quest of a better life.
Right, okay, news is blank at the minute. I did see one bit of news, which I hope I've got down here anyway, but apparently there's some old Samsung TVs that won't be working with Netflix in the future because they're getting too old.
And other models as well. It's not just Samsung, it's other makes.
I just saw Samsung and Sony was what I read in the post.
Yeah, it did say that there was going to be other makes as well.
But
it's the way that the post was, it kind of gave the idea initially that they were removing it from all Samsung TVs. They're not.
No.
It's like these were TVs from like 2009.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the way technology moves nowadays. I don't understand it. Who knows? It's not nice if you've got a TV that old still. I know they're not cheap, shall I say? And it's only
stick a fire stick in the back.
Yeah. The only other bit of news I've got that I saw that Disney Plus isn't coming till March 2020 for us, which is a bit of a shame because we're going to see people watching Mandalorian, which is probably going to be one of the best Star Wars TV shows to watch.
I think that this is where Disney gets very American-centric.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I think this is where you can tell that they're an American company and they look after America first.
Yeah. It's not right, I don't think, at all.
No.
And we do have other streaming companies.
We do.
That can show things at the same time, all within an hour of each other. So, yeah, a bit poor. I mean, if you're a real Star Wars fan and you're going to suffer for this, and we'll have to watch it on other avenues, I think. But, yeah, real shame.
Well, I mean, the thing for me is I'm not bothered about spoilers. But I know a lot of people are. And I think this, for a lot of British viewers, will ruin it if you're bothered about spoilers, because you're not going to be able to miss months and months worth unless you have a complete social media blackout.
Yeah. Because The Mandalorian is going to be a big TV show.
Yeah, it is.
And it's going to make people find other ways to watch it, which maybe aren't, the right way, should we say. And that'll be at Disney's loss.
Yeah, with Uncle Torrent.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's like Pennyworth at the moment. Why is that on, it's behind a paywall on Amazon. I'm not paying for it. Because I know that I'll be able to see it soon for free or through a service I subscribe to. Yeah,
it's there are a few different start again. There is a few subscription channels out there. I mean, I do, as I say, I subscribe to Shudder, and there are other ones out there that includes the Pennyworth TV show. So, yeah, a bit annoying, but I'm sure it'll come to other avenues at some point.
I'm sure it will.
Anyway, so cinema releases this week, 15th of November, we have the Last Christmas, and I'm start singing Wham for that one if I was about to. Ford versus Ferrari, we've got Little Monsters, The Report, and Everybody's Everything.
I have to admit, Ford versus Ferrari looks quite good.
Yeah. Actually, there's something that was from last week, probably, I was looking at. The Battle of Midway, that's releasing this week, I think. Did you see that one?
No.
It's a war movie, so I saw whether I don't know if it was in your list last week. I don't know, but that looks pretty interesting.
If it was released last week, it would have been on last week's list. Yeah.
Okay, so out of that Blu-ray list you got there, anything nice?
Yeah, so there's the James Bond Daniel Craig collection in 4K. There's Leon Director's Cut in Blu-ray 4K DVD. Lethal Weapon Season 3 on DVD and a box set for 1 to 3. The Marvel Studios Cinematic Universe Phase 3 Part 1 and 2 on 4K Blu-ray for Part 1 and Blu-ray 4K Blu-ray and DVD for Part 2. There's, if you like Mrs. Brown's Boys, there's the Christmas Collection and Christmas Corkers. And then also out this week is Spider-Man Far From Home on Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray and DVD. There is Spider-Man Far From Home, the Art of the Movie hardcover book. Mm-hmm. And there's also Far From Home and Homecoming on Blu-ray and 4K Blu-ray and DVD. Stanley Kubrick collection in 4K, Big Bang Theory in Season 12 Blu-ray and DVD, or the 1 to 12 box set. And if you want something old school, there is the Wizard of Oz Special Edition 4K Blu-ray and CD soundtrack.
It'll be interesting to see what the quality of the print is on that, because it's such an old movie. But
yeah, but if it was shot on 35mm or 70mm, then it should be good. They should be easily able to get up to 8K off of 35mm.
Yeah. But interesting few bits and pieces there. I mean, Marvel Universe is probably up your street there.
Apart from I've got them all.
Oh, what, from originally, before that?
Yeah. It's not offering me anything that I don't already have.
Yeah. And Spider-Man Far From Home, which I haven't seen yet, actually.
Worth a watch.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be getting that one.
I should probably wait till it comes. I might wait till it comes on Sky at the moment. But yeah, and there's a couple of Blu-rays I'm looking forward to picking up at some point. But yeah, not bad.
Quite fancy the Stanley Kubrick collection.
Well, I actually want the Shining 4K edition, which is now out, I think, with Dr. Sleep coming out last week. So I would love to have seen that this week, but I've just not got the chance to get to the cinema at the minute, so I might have to wait until a bit later.
I've heard that that movie, Dr. Sleep, is just not living up to its
expectations.
predecessor.
Yeah, well, it's a difficult film to follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So talking of Dr. Sleep, so the cinema chart says it goes. So weeks on release. So for 2 weeks we got in at 5. We got Terminator: Dark Fate. At 4 we got Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. Number 3, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. The Addams Family at number 2, and Joker at number 1.
A great movie, Joker is. You missed my talk on it last week.
Yeah, I do want to see it. I do and I don't. I'm a bit.
No, you do.
I'm just, yeah.
I'm telling you, you do. It's the best. It's a movie of the decade for me.
I wouldn't say as far as the decade. I couldn't.
You haven't seen it?
I can't see it would be best movie of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, what's the charts looking like?
So the charts are at number 5, we've got Good Omens. At number 4, Nightbreed. At number 3, Midsummer. At number 2, An American Werewolf in London. And at number 1, Toy Story 4. Which I was very disappointed with.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Again, I talked about that last week as well. But
That's all right.
Yeah.
I got American Werewolf in London, and that is an awesome print. A great special edition I got from Arrow.
Good Omens is a really good film, series. I enjoyed watching that.
I sort of fell away from that near the end.
Did you? I like a bit of Terry Pratchett every now and again.
Oh, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it just started to fall away from me for some reason. But yeah, but I've got looking forward to coming this at the moment. So with American Werewolf in London out this week, this release, with also Nightbreed from Arrow. Next month we've got RoboCop coming out, which I'm looking forward to. They've got a nice special edition of that, which looks pretty cool. Other than that, I think it's a little bit quiet now for Blu-rays. Don't think there's too much coming out, even though I picked a couple of bits. As I picked up the Star Trek collection and the Mission Impossible ones. What else have I picked up of late? I don't think I can think of anything else I've actually picked up. Oh yeah, X-Men. I haven't watched it yet.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
We must have had it on for a bit because you had the picture of the new telly with it on.
Yeah, that was a quick look, just a sneaky quick look. I haven't had a chance to play the whole film yet.
Is it Blu-ray or 4K?
It's the 4K one, of course.
Yeah.
And any day of the week to watch Jennifer Lawrence, it's good in my book, to be honest.
Won't see that much of her in it.
No, but yeah, spoilers.
No, I'm just saying she's not in it much, that's all.
Yeah, anyway.
I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've got that on 4K. Again, I think it was one that I talked about when you weren't here.
Yeah.
But I actually didn't mind that as a movie so much. It was just pretty bog standard sort of X-Men movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really a bit of a fan of the original three.
I am of the original one, maybe the second one. The third one I thought was a bit rubbish. But I have to admit, I like the First Class.
Yeah, I mean,
particularly Days of Futures Past.
Yeah, I have watched all the other ones. They'd be good to get on 4K Blu-ray.
I'll tell you what I did watch this week. Actually, I forgot I've watched it.
Yeah.
I watched Deadpool again.
Deadpool. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got something. Here's a couple of things I've actually started to watch, must admit, or was talking about a minute. So, how come? Any particular reason for digging that one out again, or?
Yeah, I just really fancied a laugh.
Oh, okay.
And it, hands it out in droves. But it's that bit where he's been dragged by Colossus. He says, "I'm going to take you to Professor Xavier." He says, "Is that the McAvoy or the Stewart one?" It gets so confusing.
Yeah,
because he's constantly breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, that was quite funny.
So,
but yeah,
what else? Oh yeah, it's a couple of things I've started to watch this week. So, about 3 episodes in on The Flash at the moment.
Has that started on Sky?
Yeah, 3 episodes in.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to catch up on that.
And I watched the first 2 episodes of Arrow.
And that's out now as well.
And I've watched 1 episode of Supergirl. So there.
You see, what's happened with me is because my box for some reason completely reset. It's now not. It's not taking forward any of my. Next time it's on record these sort of things. Yeah.
So interesting enough how this is going to play out. I won't say too much. You've got obviously watch the first couple of episodes of at least 2 of the programs. Arrow obviously on a shorter season to its finale, and obviously it's very heavily orientated with the Flash as well. With what's being said, but yeah, really interesting. And another show actually I've been watching is, I know it's not probably everybody's favourite, but Young Sheldon started again on Channel 4, I think it is. Yeah. And it's brilliant, really good. I do like that show. It's about the only comedy I've got on at the moment that I can actually watch. There's not too many about. So, but yeah.
You need to go back to The Good Place.
Yeah, I lost that. Well, I think was it season 3, and maybe I can't remember now.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but persevere with season 3; it gets a lot better.
But that was. So I'm glad to see that I've got some TV back now. But all good. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll move on to the listeners' questions.
John, what's happening to us?
Okay, so questions. We'll start with Mark, of course. He gives us a couple each week. The first one he says is, what do you miss most about your old consoles? Is there something you miss about your old consoles?
Yeah. Being the age I was when I was playing them. Particularly the PlayStation 1, I think. Being in my late 20s.
I can't even remember how old I was playing the PlayStation 1, to be honest.
Early 30s? By any chance if I was in my late 20s?
I don't remember now. What was I playing? Oh, Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo.
Tomb Raider.
Gran Turismo. Formula 1.
Wipeout.
No, I wasn't too fussed about that one.
Tekken.
No, never a Tekken fan. But I did love Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. But I don't know. What do I miss about my old consoles? I don't know. I mean, I did love the 360, of course, and we had a lot of fun on that one.
Yeah.
And the original Xbox, well, you know, we've had quite a few bits and pieces come and go since then. But I do miss the fun of actually at one point of actually playing with the Kinect. I did have a bit of fun with that over the years. It was something different, of course, but yeah. And I think going forward now, I think we've got the best time for consoles at the moment for gaming.
Yeah. I think that they've progressed so far nowadays. It's, I don't know, you know, looking back, you know, I'm not into retro consoles anymore because they offer so much more now.
Yeah, well, we can only play so much retro because really, you know, we're always looking forward to playing better games, so they're normally just a 10-minute wonder, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, question 2. What's he saying?
So he's saying, what is your most used feature in the current gen after gaming?
I don't know if there is one, to be honest. Because a lot of the apps there, I don't really use them anymore. I used to use Netflix at one point, but now I don't need to because I use the smart TV for that.
Yeah, I think before I had a smart TV, that would have been the one.
Yeah, but
I use the Sky app on the PlayStation quite a lot.
Well, I did use that at one point, but I don't need to anymore.
No, but I do.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah, no, it's difficult because you do you actually have Sky then, or you using someone else's account?
No. I have my own Sky. I've had Sky since since Sky Digital came out. So what's that, about 98?
Yeah,
97.
Yeah. But I always felt that the quality was not there in the app before because it wasn't in that high res.
No, it's in HD. But the Sky HD and the Blu-ray HD seems to be slightly different.
Yeah, there's a difference in quality as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I used to use it, but not anymore. Okay, anything else with there? You can think of anything?
Streaming.
Yeah, for you it is.
The streaming facilities of it, yeah. Because I did stream a couple of hours of Death Stranding. So if anybody wants to see what being a postman's like, go and have a look at that. On Twitch. Just search for HRJ UK.
Okay, cool. So the next couple of questions are probably going to be more for you than me. So Scott Kidd says, what's a good gaming monitor? Was he talking about here 144 hertz with 1 millisecond time?
Yeah, 1 millisecond response time and up to 144 hertz. So my recommendation, because I have this, is the Asus VG248QE 24-inch 1920 by 1080 gaming monitor, which does 1 millisecond and up to 144 megahertz, and it also has DisplayPort, HDMI, and DVI-D.
And take a breath.
And it also has G-Sync on it as well. So if you've got a NVIDIA card, then you can use G-Sync on there. And it's a lovely monitor. It's got one of those special sort of stands so you can tilt it in either direction, either portrait or landscape. Really nice picture quality. There is no screen tearing because of the G-Sync. So it's, it does make a heck of a difference in terms of what you're actually looking at. And at the moment, it's cheaper on Amazon. It's normally $243.99, and it's at the moment on a deal price of $164.95.
Roughly the same price as the Elite Controller 2.
£5 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing, it's weird actually, because NVIDIA evidently doesn't like doing the adaptive sync over HDMI. So when I first connected my 3 monitors, all of which have got adaptive sync on it, because I've also got a pair of Acer ones as well as the Asus, which is the one I would recommend. When I connected them, it didn't come up with G-Sync enabled. And then I looked into it, and evidently the only way that you can get G-Sync enabled is to use DisplayPort to be able to enable G-Sync. So I went onto G-Sync, using a DisplayPort cable, bought specially extra long leads because of the distance from my main box. And what I found was, on my main monitor, I was getting a flickering, which is this one I've just recommended. And it's evidently a problem with G-Sync and DisplayPort. It's a recognised problem when you're going at anything above 60 megahertz, which on 144 megahertz display is stupid. So I thought, well, it was doing my head in that much. I thought, I can't cope with this. So I went back to the setup that I had on my main monitor, which was using a DisplayPort to HDMI and then a HDMI lead into my monitor. And lo and behold, it cured the flicker, but I can still use it up to 144 megahertz and G-Sync's enabled.
How bizarre.
Work that one out, because it's not supposed to work over HDMI. Work that out. That's just... I'm not complaining at all.
It's just odd, I think.
It is. But, you get such a fantastic frame rate from it. But I love the monitor. It does have built-in speakers, but unless you've got the... superhuman hearing, you'll never hear out of those speakers because they are so quiet. It's like trying to listen to a pair of earphones on half volume at the other side of a 6-foot thick brick wall. It's the only way I can describe it. They are not worth having, are the speakers. Yeah. So, you'd still need external speakers if you got that monitor. It's the one poor thing about it. But I think most of the time people like having separate speakers anyway. So I've got like a little mini amp on my PC with a pair of modern short speakers as well. So I get really nice rich sound out of them. Whereas obviously it's much better than what you would ever get through a monitor anyway. But what you've got to do is, if you do that, you've got to remember to switch off the audio coming from HDMI, because it overrides your speakers unless you set it as default.
Okay.
So that's my advice for that one.
Cool. Okay, next question.
Okay, so what's at the top of your pile of shame? What game have you given up on and wish you had stuck with? Witcher 3. Oh, see, this is from Lee Doherty.
I was about to say, who's it from?
Yeah, from Lee Doherty. And he said, Witcher 3 for me, I'm giving up and leaving it for months at a time.
I probably would agree with him there. I've been to this game, but not got nowhere near finishing it.
Yeah.
There are games that I'll never go back to because they burnt me so much, which we won't talk about, but The Witcher 3 is coming out on so many different platforms now.
Yeah, be out on a Casio digital watch next.
Yeah, exactly. But can you think of anything else other than that one yourself?
Well, I would say that's one of them, but that's just one of a very, very long pile of shame of games where I've started them and not progressed.
Yeah, I think I did the same with Metal Gear Solid 5, would it have been at the time? I can't remember now.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, I didn't complete that. To be honest, I didn't enjoy that. Mad Max. Just examples of ones that I haven't completed. I completed Shadows of Mordor, but I didn't complete the follow-up one.
Right.
But I did love the game.
Yeah.
But it's just, you get sidetracked, especially when you're doing a show like this, onto other things. So, you've got to keep going. So sometimes you don't get to complete games.
Saying there's one game I've been playing that I didn't even go and mention. We'll have to save it for next week now, probably. But it's one game I've been playing before I moved. That was The Outer World. Have you played that yet?
Yes. I also talked about it last week.
Okay, well, I don't need to talk about it then, but yeah.
You really need to catch up on what our show is doing. You're not here.
I've been busy.
You could have played it in the background, man.
No, I can only do that in the car when I'm on my own, but...
Right. I mean, I have completed 49 games this year.
Well done.
Because I've got a list of all of them.
Yeah.
So I was trying to go for completing a game a week. So I've got myself a good bit in hand at the moment.
You must have a lot of time though. I don't know where you get it from sometimes, but you do sort of have insomnia, I think, don't you? So
yeah, I do suffer from insomnia. So gaming is a very good way of addressing some of that.
Yeah, right. What's the latest you stayed up to before you come to work the next morning?
4.
I couldn't. So what, 2 hours sleep?
Well, no, I don't get up at 6. I get up at 7.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. 49 games.
Anyway.
22 on PlayStation. Platinumed. 15 1,000 gamer score on Xbox. 4 PC games with 1,000 gamer score. 2 games completed not to 100% on Xbox. 2 without platinum trophies but completed on PlayStation. 1 completed the story but not completed all of the trophies on PlayStation. And 2 on the PC without 100% on gamer score but completed the story.
Well, if you're getting the time to do it and you've got that insomnia problem, then it's a good way of passing the time, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Jason Troon. He says here, with the inevitable X-Men reboot on the horizon, who would you cast in the major roles? I didn't even know there was going to be another reboot, to be honest.
Yeah.
So he'd like the cast to be really out the left field actors, like Dolph Lundgren as Magneto or Daniel Craig as Professor X.
I don't think I would even want to see bald Daniel Craig, to be honest.
No, I don't think so either, to be honest, yeah.
I would say William Dafoe as Magneto.
I don't know, really.
Yeah, I think he would be a good Magneto. And I would have Jason Momoa as Wolverine. I could imagine him as Wolverine.
I don't know. Who would you put in the wheelchair?
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Man, the thing would be his wheels would buckle.
I know they would. He could be Juggernaut, though, couldn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He'd be a good one for Juggernaut. Who? I would think I would go for Scarlett Johansson as anything.
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, yeah. But otherwise, anything.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who could play Wolverine. I mean, there was some. I can't think who was mentioned actually a little while ago about it.
I think Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
No, I don't think. So.
Yeah, no, he's got the look. He's got that sort of like gruff, hairy sort of look.
Mm.
I think he would be better than someone. What's it called? Who played Bane? I've forgotten Mad Max. I've forgotten his name for suddenly. I had it there and then it went out my head.
Yes. Mm.
Yeah, what's his name?
You can tell it's a late night, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Even though you have insomnia.
Tom Hardy.
Mm.
Yeah, because he was tipped, wasn't he, at one point? And I just can't see him.
What about Ricky Gervais as Magneto?
Where on earth? I'm trying to do it sensibly, and you're coming out with Ricky Gervais.
You got.
Wasn't it Cal Pilkington as Professor X then?
Yeah, why not? And Stephen Merchant as Wolverine.
He's not taking it seriously, Jason. I do apologise. I'm trying to give you good answers here.
Stephen Merchant's been in one of the X-Men movies, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He has. He was in Logan.
That's right. Oh yeah. Okay. Do you want to do Alan Cochrane's story?
Okay, so my father killed his laptop by spilling a cup of tea over it. Have you ever done something similar?
I have not, but I did do something that was a bit bizarre, and I was really annoyed with myself. I think it was just before I moved? I can't remember now when it was, but I've got a little bit of a fetish at the moment, should I say, or for food, certain food. And at the moment, I'm enjoying eating mac and cheese.
Right.
And I brought my bowl of mac and cheese. I sat down, and when I sat down, my controller bounced off the settee and it landed in the mac and cheese. And it got covered. I was fuming, trying to clean all this cheese off my controller. Mm. But it worked fine, though, I must admit. But I've not killed anything with it, though.
Yeah. I destroyed a work computer many, many years ago.
What, cup of tea scenario, was it?
No, actually, it wasn't. It was. I can't remember it exactly. Oh, it was a plant. That was it. And I watered this plant, and it had this. It was one of those ones where you soak it in the. You've got the pot, and then you've got like the saucer bit that it goes into. Like the flat pot bit, and you had to fill it up just so that it drained up through the roots. Mm-hmm. So I did this, poured the water in to the level it was supposed to, and this was on the top of some shelves.
Right.
And like when you talk about shelves, I mean, it was sort of like 8-9 foot off the ground.
Yeah.
From the floor. So it was quite high up. I had to stand on a desk to do it. Health and safety nightmare. Mm. And anyway, I got down, turned round and looked, and there was 3 of us in the office, and we just couldn't believe what happened, because the shelf broke at one side and fell at something like 30-degree angle, and then the water lapped out of the bowl thing it was in, and then started to trickle down. But the shockwave of that then knocked the shelf below it down the opposite way. And so the water started going down this zigzag, in between this like wall of fireplace sort of bit in the office that we were in. Mm. Until at the end one, when it got to the bottom shelf, this thing that was on there sort of like lurched forward, And so didn't actually take it to the end. But what happened was the water hit this, I think it was a book or something, and then it started to roll towards us. And right below it was a mainframe terminal. And the water just poured straight into this. It looked like, like one of those things where a ball jumps into a thing and then goes down a zip line and that. It was that sort of effect of what happened, but it was like so weird. And then the terminal blew up.
Not best
That was
pleased.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, for a start off, it was nothing that I'd done. It was just I'd literally put some water in this thing, which I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then the shelf gave way. And I hadn't touched the shelf or anything, so it was just one of those daft things, freak occurrence in life, as it were. But it was weird, very weird.
Okay. Right, Dave Ribbit. Is it my turn? Okay, I think it is.
It is.
So after my post on Bagel's solo of the Shattered Throne at light level 999, do either of you think you can grind to that light level? He's nowhere near.
No, because I've got a life.
Well, you've got insomnia, so you could have a good
Do you know
crack
what?
at it.
I might have insomnia, but I'll tell you what, I've got a life. I'm not playing that many times Destiny to complete. He's something like, on the season, level 1111 or something. I'm on, like, level 107. And to get there, I put in about 160 hours. I'm not putting in anything more. I'm on to other things now. But I do want to complete the Shattered Throne, because I've got a quest for that. And at light level 964, if he's just done it solo on 999, I've been going in and trying to do it solo on 964.
Not a chance.
I got quite a way in. I got about halfway through.
Yeah.
But I just gave up in the end. It was taking too long.
That's the thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think if you're going with a fire team of 3 of you could easily do it.
That's the one for the... Which weapon is it? Is that where the Shattered Throne you go to the farm?
No, it's all... the Shattered Throne is taken, so everything's like black and white.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if I've looked at that then. See, I'm so out of touch at the moment with Destiny. I need to get back into it.
I know.
Anyway, last question of the day.
Yep, so it's John Challis. He says, will Xbox One games load quicker on Project Scarlet? Yes.
100%.
Yeah. We've already been told that, so yeah.
Yeah.
But they're going to have SSDs for a start off, so yeah, they're bound to load quicker.
Yeah, the days of waiting for a door to open to get through to the next part of the story are long gone. So, great. That means I've got time to finish my dinner off. It's now, what's it now? Nearly 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, not too bad.
And I'm going to have a life after editing the show.
Yeah, that's it. Shouldn't take you too long, should it?
As long as we don't have the normal of what happens is in our 2 recordings are different lengths and I have to alter the length of yours to fit mine.
Yeah, you just chop the end off.
It doesn't work like that though, because our conversations go out of sync.
Anyway, so best place for me, Twitter @Steve007. If you want to find me on PlayStation, it's the real Steve007, and on Xbox, it's Steve007.
So for me, it's HERJUK on Twitch, Twitter, PSN, Xbox Live, Steam.
And a toilet roll.
Great Old Games, Uplay, Origin, you name it, it's there. As HERJUK. Also on YouTube, if you do a search for that, even though the channel's not named that, you'll be able to find me. If you want to get in contact with the show, just email podcast@popculturegamers.co.uk. Our website is popculturegamers.podbean.com. We have a Facebook group. If you want to support the show, then please retweet, promote us in whatever groups that you actually go to. Just spread the word, basically. Or write us a review on iTunes. Always helps as well on there as well.
Excellent. So all I'm going to say is it's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.
You are about to witness history in the making.